When you have become one with the self, a great power takes you over and runs your life for you. It looks after your body, it puts you in the right place at the right time, it makes you say the right things to the people you meet. This power takes you over so completely you no longer have any ability to decide or discriminate. The ego that thinks I must do this or I should not do that is no longer there. The self simply animates you and makes you do all the things that need to be done. If you are not in this state, then use your discrimination wisely. You can choose to sit in a flower garden and enjoy the scent of the blooms, or you can go down to that trench I told you about and make yourself sick by inhaling the fumes there. So while you still have an ego and the power of discrimination that goes with it, use it to inhale the fragrance that you find in the presence of an enlightened being. If you spend time in the proximity of a jnani, his peace will sink into you to such an extent that you will find yourself in a state of peace. If instead you choose to spend all your time with people whose minds are always full of bad thoughts, their mental energy and vibrations will start to seep into you. I tell you regularly, you are the self. Everything is the self. If this is not your experience, pretending that all is one may get you into trouble. Advaita may be the ultimate experience, but it is not something that the mind that still sees distinctions can practice. Electricity is useful is a useful form of energy, but it is also potentially harmful. Use it wisely. Don't put your finger in the socket thinking all is one. You need a body that is in good working order in order to realize the self. Realizing the self is the only useful and worthy activity in this life. So keep the body in good repair till that goal is achieved. Afterwards, the self will take care of everything and you won't have to worry about anything anymore. In fact, you won't be able to because the mind that previously did the worrying, the choosing and the discriminating will no longer be there. In that state, you won't need it and you won't miss it. The questioner, what should be right attitude when one sits in the presence of a jnani? He answered, just keep quiet, make contact with the silence of the self within. This is the way of making contact with your guru. And it is also the best attitude to have when you are sitting in his presence. The questioner, I understand this is also my inner feeling, my own belief of what I need to do, but knowing it does not produce the desired results. I know that I can make contact with my real guru by abiding as the self within, but it rarely happens. I cannot abide in that state all the time, and when I'm out of that state, I'm acutely aware of the separation. Then when I feel that separation, I feel a need to be in the Guru's physical presence. The advice, go back to the self within, is not so attractive then, because I know I can't do it. He answered, who is feeling the separation? Who is separate from whom? Ask yourself this question whenever these thoughts arise. Basically, he points him back to, if there is a sense of separation, question it. Question the thoughts, question the mind, because when you question the thoughts, you come to see the unreality of the thought itself. There is no real separation, it's just imaginary. It is in the mind to cultivate an attitude of, first of all, indifference of which thoughts appear, and the second is to start to have the sense-felt experience of the beingness of who you are, yet without wanting it. It's by trusting that it's you, or that it is always available when it reveals itself, and when it doesn't, it's to see the illusion as such and not as something else. Because if the mind forms or switch the habit of, now I want the silence, the presence of awareness, and when thoughts appear I resist them, that's exactly the habit of the mind. And that doesn't serve, because that sustains the reactivity and also make the unreal appear to be real, because the thought is not real, and then when the mind resists it, it's because it believes it is real. This is why the ego or the I thought or any idea is not a bad thing. It's just not real. If it is bad, means I believe it to be real. If it is good, I believe it to be real. If it's not real, I can't say it's good or bad, because it's not real. Even what the questioner asked him, he says, I don't experience it all the time. It's the mind wants to gain that experience instead of surrender and allow for it to reveal instead of trying to make it. When you try to make it, the mind creates more mental activity.
There is something to achieve.
Gaining.